Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so the score was 116 and 112, and the Lakers just beat the Clippers in one of the great Bron Laker basketball games. I don't know how to feel about this one because I had a whole lot to complain about, and this game doesn't ultimately make any sense because we ultimately won it in the end. But we did everything we could to lose this game through three quarters, and in the fourth quarter just went on a epic run of the highest order. LeBron James had about 5 threes in the fourth quarter. 39-16 or something like that is what the Lakers won that quarter by. Rui Hachimura was fantastic in the fourth quarter. D'Angelo Russell hit big shots in the fourth quarter. Austin Reeves getting in, helping on the defensive end with loose balls, getting out in transition. He was helping us in that way all night long. Anthony Davis filling up the box score on the defensive end. It was like I said, this game doesn't make no sense if I'm being completely honest with you, because Darvin and his rotations is really all I really wanted to talk about, and we won the game, and it was only because, in my opinion, LeBron James took over. This is one of them games where you just look up, if you're a LeBron James fan, and you say, this is why this is my GOAT. This is why this is the GOAT. This is why the greatest player of all time. Because when the game is in the bag, it's over. The Clippers have won the game. And then LeBron James just suddenly says, nah, you didn't. Nah, you didn't, because you're going up against me and I'm going to hit 5 threes. I thought some of the shots he took down the stretch were a little ego-ish, and it almost cost us. In fact, that last three he took, we were up by 4 with like a minute to go. I was really angry at him for taking that three. I felt like that was a losing shot. They came down, got in transition, got an easy layup off of it. We were up by 2. We missed our shot, and they ended up having an opportunity with 9 seconds to go in a one-possession game. And I know that doesn't happen if he doesn't take that shot. But all in all, he had hit like 7 of them on the night. Our team was shooting so poor from behind the arc in the first half, and then he got hot. And the Clippers stayed shooting poorly and just completely collapsed. I mean, they were turning the ball over left and right. And the thing about the Clippers, and I didn't say this in the halftime video, but the thing about the way this game was going was they were up by 21. Then we cut it to 9. Then they run it up by 18. Then we cut it to 9. So they were showing the ability to give this game up. You just had to string together enough stops to take it from them, because they were showing that they weren't able to keep large portions of their lead a good portion of the game. I think we cut it to 12 after having them run it up by 18 maybe 3 times in this game. So it was almost like you could smell blood at all times. We just couldn't capture success. We were missing shots. Everybody, our rotations were flat. Boy, were they flat. And it was one of those situations where we just couldn't quite get over the hump. But they were turning the ball over. As I said, Austin Reeves would find his way. We would find ways to get in the fast break off of turnovers, transition buckets. Anthony Davis had it going. D'Lo had it going. And when it came down to it, LeBron James hitting those 5 threes made it so that they had to collapse on LeBron. And as a result, D'Lo gets an open 3. Rui gets several open 3s. And we were able to close the game out that way. And it's hard, if you're the Clippers, to strategize against a team who in the first half shot 18%, and then suddenly one guy goes off for 1,000,000 threes in a row, and now you got to try to scramble. And that's what we did. We kept them on their toes. They had to scramble defensively, and they couldn't do it. No Paul George. They were not able to overcome that onslaught by LeBron James. I'm still in shock, to be honest with you. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm still. When you watch 3.5 or 3 quarters of nonsense, and you know exactly what you're going to talk about when the game is over, you've already accepted that you're going to lose. You considering all of the different issues with your team in the standings. You know you got a back-to-back tomorrow. You got to play the Washington Wizards. You kind of just have, you've sealed, what's the word? You've accepted your fate. That's what this game was for me. I had accepted my fate. We lost. We had lost. The Clippers took care of us. They blew us out. And then the King just does that thing. that, he does, but not very often in our uniform. You see what I'm saying? That's what it really comes down to. I'm used to losing games like this because I'm not used to LeBron James taking over games like this. Now, he usually takes over games, but not like this. This was like some Kobe stuff. This was him hitting all the shots by himself. You know what I mean? Just ringing off 3 after 3 after 3 in a short flurry of time. He really had that mentality tonight that I'm not going to lose this basketball game to this team. It's the last game we see in the Clippers in this building, sharing the floor with them. This is the last time they're going to have a home game against us in this building. And it looked like it was over. The game looked like it was over. I'm ready to tell you guys about everything that Darvin did wrong, and I probably still want to make a video about everything that Darvin did wrong, because 99 out of 100 times you lost this game, and the reason is because Darvin Ham's rotations were that bad tonight. They were really, really, really bad tonight. Like, normally they're bad, but this was like an especially terrible one. And I think he gets away with it because LeBron James basically saved his backside. We got to change the narrative entirely and celebrate a win, which I could not be more pleased about, especially given who we played and how it went and what we needed. I'm happy, but I'm in shock in a sense that my nerves are still shot by the stuff that I did not like that I saw. If I'm being completely honest with you. These type of games don't come around very often. And then the fact that we beat this team, we're up 3-1. We won the season series against the Clippers for the first time in a long time. I don't know if this stat is true, but it was said by the Clippers announcers that the Lakers have not won a Clipper home floor game since 2000, which I was waiting for him to say 2000 and something, but it sounded like he said 2000, so I didn't check that. Maybe somebody can check that for me, but I wasn't sure about that. You trying to tell me we haven't won a road Clipper game in 24 years? I'm having a hard time believing that. But nevertheless, that's what he sounded like he said. And we got this one. We got this one. However long it's been, we got this one. And this is one of the ones you will literally never forget. You can ask me about this game 30 years from now. I ain't going to forget this one. I mean, my God, man. And I will always remember that I ended the game feeling like I was still upset at what went wrong, and somebody just flipped the narrative on the entire situation. It's almost like being in the Matrix. That you do everything you're supposed to, that you have it all figured out, and then boom, it just don't happen. You know what I mean? Whatever you thought was going to happen just simply doesn't take place. All the math added up. We lost. And then Bron just pulls a Kobe. He pulls a Kobe and changes the narrative on the night. And you walk away a victor, and you're still trying to figure out how the hell you did. But I got to give credit to LeBron James. Of course, the game ball goes to him in a historic performance, if you ask me. It's a historic performance. It was a lot to dislike about the game, as you know. But, I mean, when you win and you need to win, especially given the circumstances of our team, all you can do is just take your hat off to the king and say this is why he's in that GOAT conversation. These games right here. This is another one of them games that's going to go in his arsenal of great games. In the history of this league, really. Win the Clipper last finale home game against the Lakers after having lost to them however long it's been on that floor. Going into the fourth quarter down by double digits. You were down by as much as 21 in this game. You cut the lead a million times but couldn't get no closer than 9 the majority of this game. And in the fourth quarter, he just does the impossible, man. Simply the impossible. And what can I say, man? The Lakers didn't really have a whole lot coming from their bench tonight. That was a part of the problem. Coach was using some of those guys on the bench. Cam Reddish made his return tonight. Wasn't really able to help us as expected. Torian Prince was put in all the wrong places. Didn't really help us as much as expected. Spencer Dinwiddie had a good assist night, but his shooting was not very good. But he ended up making some key plays down the stretch of the game. I think he had over 7.7 assists or something like that. So this is a better game for Spencer. But the rotations he was placed in were awful. We didn't see Jackson Hayes very much, but when we did see him down there, he was giving us some energy. He definitely helped rebounding us some, you know. Anthony Davis had a pretty good first half. Second half, he was all right. Starting to find his way with his mid-range jumper that we kept trying to seek out for him, which does slightly irritate me, to be completely honest with you, because if I'm being real, that mid-range jumper ain't necessarily been falling at a high clip, and we have been searching it out. But he did end up hitting it a couple times. You know, D'Lo Russell, I mean, one thing I love about D'Lo's game, and he's been doing this pretty much he's done this in every game since the All-Star break, is he has a three-point shot where he doesn't bring the ball below his nose. He catches it above his head, and he just lets it go above his head, and he's made every single one of those. And tonight he hit yet another one down the stretch of that game. He was fantastic. He has been fantastic in all these games. While our team has struggled, D'Lo has not. So I definitely am pleased with him. And we got Rui Hachimura the ball more tonight, man. Rui was dunking the ball, getting reverse layups. I mean, Rui was really good. 17 points, 8 field goals made. Love what I saw from Rui. Could not have won this without his contributions tonight. But, I mean, at the end of the day, this is about LeBron James simply refusing to lose. And we've seen these type of performances before, but not from him. Not from him. We've seen these from Kobe. This is a Kobe-like night. And I'm sure Kobe would be proud of this one, man. Because at the end of the day, these are the Clippers and the circumstances with our team fighting for seeding. Can't afford to lose no more. Look like you're dead in the water against the Clippers, who just turned their logo into a ship. I mean, we were dead in the water, man. Never have I been so sure we're losing a basketball game as I was in that third quarter. I mean, Norman Powell hit a 3 to shoot him up by 14 at the end of the third quarter. Like, he had a buzzer 3, is what I'm trying to express to you guys. I thought the game was over. And I'm sure there were a lot of Laker fans who probably turned the game off. You go on Lakers IG and you're going to see nothing but people firing Darvin Ham, calling him the worst coach in the league, which I am one of those people telling y'all that's exactly what I thought through 3 quarters. And I don't think I feel a whole lot different afterward either. But LeBron saved his backside. We don't get to sit up here and talk about how angry we are with him because we didn't lose. And it's because of the greatness of the player. And the fantastic accompanying of what others did with him. In that fourth quarter, our team just really dominated the fourth quarter. And the Clippers collapsed. The Clippers collapsed like you would expect from the Clippers. It's like they have done the entire time they've been in Los Angeles. They always find a way to lose. And this being their last Laker matchup at home signified how it's been against them for 50, 60 years. It's who they are, man. Nobody should be surprised by what you saw tonight when it comes to the Clippers. It's just who they are. I don't care who's on the floor. They're going to find a way to lose. I don't care how good they are that year. They're not winning the championship. And this game right here just doubled down on that. So, I don't want to hear nobody talking about the Clippers run LA. They run their mouth, man. At the end of the day, they were renting in our building, and this is how we send them off. Same way we welcome them in. Losers. That's exactly what I have to say about the Clippers. And I know Figueroa is going crazy tonight, especially after this one. You can't tell me it ain't at least 1,000 people out there going nuts right now. At least. Because it's the type of night this is. And the King gets the honors, man. If it's going to be $60 million a year, I'm pretty sure Genie going to pay it. Just telling y'all right now, games like this is why you pay him. You know, they showed the stat that what he's averaging in points. And you look at the other players who've had year 21s and compared those point totals to what LeBron is doing, he's tripled the next highest point total of anyone. He's tripled it. So it's like, man, it ain't even. He's by far the GOAT as it pertains to longevity in sports, man. Not just the NBA, in sports. If you can last this long playing at this level, show me a guy who's been able to do what he's done. You have to show me. Where? I don't know. I can't think of nobody who looks this good this far in with that much mileage on their sport. It's nobody, man. Not a soul. And so that's really what my head goes, man. It's just the greatness of LeBron James showing up for the Los Angeles Lakers. And we're a little perturbed with him because he didn't play in the Golden State game. He's been taking on a lot of criticism because of the statements made about his, how his son doesn't care about mock drafts and all of that. A lot of people are blaming him because of why his son's even in this whole situation. It's a lot to talk about his contract, as we just mentioned. He's in the news for a lot of different things. Ain't got nothing to do with basketball, and he came through and reminded everybody why he's worth it. Why everybody needs to just go ahead and give him a pass on whatever he decides to do. Because when he has nights like this, you understand. You understand what you're dealing with. And so I just know that there are probably two videos to make. One where we celebrate this win, and the other where we talk about what happened and how we found ourselves needing to have a 39-16 quarter in order to win. Because there was a reason for that. And like I said, I am so frustrated with those rotations, man. To have won this game just does not give me the right to really go in like my attitude really wants to, because you won. And this is a game that you ultimately will remember LeBron James for being great, and remember the Clippers for collapsing, but that wasn't what brought us to this point. What brought us to this point was those horrible rotations, clueless, absolutely clueless coaching through three quarters. That's what got us in a position where we needed to do all of that to win the game. And if we're, LeBron James is LeBron James, man. If he happens to do this again every night, it wouldn't change a thing about his legacy, because at the end of the day, it's two players in the GOAT conversation. It's him and Mike. So whatever he does now is icing on the cake. He's probably going to get 40,000 career points tomorrow, as I think he's only like maybe 30-something points left to do so. If he does play tomorrow, which I think he probably will, but he's close to 40K. No one's ever done that. He has the record, and every time he scores a point, he's setting the record. So this is unheard of, and we will celebrate it. But I said all that to say, if you're counting on him to hit 5 threes every night in the fourth quarter for you to win basketball games, I do not expect to win too many basketball games. That's what all of that was meant to say. Don't count on that every night. Don't count on that anymore, for that matter. Well, we appreciate it tonight, especially under these circumstances, especially against this opponent, especially this particular season, when they are clearly a better team than us, and we won the season series 3-1. I'm still very much stunned. That's what it is, man. In awe of LeBron James' ability to win this game, perturbed with him in the immediate past because of that last 3-point shot, which really irritated the hell out of me. And then ultimately, just like looking at Darvin Ham saying, man, you really dodged a big bullet here. You dodged a whole missile here, man. I'm telling you, bro. And I think most Laker Nation feels the same way I do. We happy we won, but ain't nobody forgot about how them first 3 quarters went. Nobody. So that's really what I have to say, man. Of course, LeBron James gets the game ball. This was a one for the ages. Very exhausting, very nerve-wracking, very angering basketball game through 3 quarters. But ultimately, in the fourth quarter, we saw the spirit, man. We saw the spirit that we miss, man. We see it in LeBron James. We know he's capable of it. And we wish he felt like this all the time. We would never lose if he felt like this all the time. You know, but there's certain games that come around that are legacy games. And this one he understood to be a legacy game. He knew that he needed to put this team on his back, and he willed us to victory, man. Simple as that. My name is BDF44. I thank y'all for watching. I'm out.